Hello and welcome. Before we begin, I'd like to invite you to take a gentle breath. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. Nothing to solve. Nothing to figure out. Just this moment. And perhaps for the next few minutes, an opportunity to let yourself be held a little too. If you found your way to this recording, to this course, then the chances are life is not easy for you right now. Perhaps your child is struggling with anxiety, depression, school or college refusal, maybe even self-harm or suicidal thoughts, emotional overwhelm, or perhaps something else completely that's left you feeling ungrounded, frightened and unsure. Maybe you've been lying awake at night. Perhaps you've spent hours searching the internet. Maybe you've spoken to doctors, therapists, schools, friends, family members, parents, desperately trying to find the answer that's going to make everything okay again. And maybe somewhere underneath all of that is a painful question. What am I doing wrong? Or maybe, why can't I fix this? Or maybe even, am I failing my child? I know those questions because I've asked them myself. My name's Teri Potter. I'm a compassionate inquiry practitioner. I'm the creator of the Safe Practice, and I'm a conscious parenting coach. But before any of that, I'm simply a mum. A mum who sat beside her own child during some profound mental health crises. There were times when I barely recognized my daughter, times when she completely withdrew from the world, times when she hurt herself, times when she spoke about not wanting to be here, times when I felt completely helpless. And if I'm honest, there were moments when I thought I was losing her. Nothing had prepared me for that. Not motherhood, not love, not all the books I'd ever read, not any of the personal development work I'd done. Because when someone you love is suffering, particularly your child, absolutely every protective instinct in you comes alive. It's natural. You want to fix it. You want to protect them. You want to take away their pain. And when you can't, it can feel unbearable. I spent years searching for answers, for experts, for certainty, searching for the one thing that would finally make everything okay. And what I didn't understand at the time was that my daughter's crisis wasn't only bringing me face to face with her pain, it was bringing me face to face with my own. You see, long before I became a parent, and I think this is probably true for you too, I was a child too. And like many people, I carried wounds that had never been fully seen. I knew what it felt like to feel disconnected, and I knew what it felt like to carry really difficult emotions alone. I knew what it felt like to wonder whether life was even worth living. I knew what it felt like to be lost. And although much of that pain belonged to my past, my daughter's suffering touched those places inside me I'd long since forgotten. And suddenly I wasn't only responding to what was happening to her, I was responding to old fears, old helplessness, old deep grief, and old beliefs that somehow I just wasn't enough. Looking back, I can see that two things were happening at once. My daughter was struggling, and my own unresolved pain was being activated. This is something I now see in so many parents. We think we're only reacting to what's happening under our noses in the present, but often Our child's crisis awakens something much older inside of us. The frightened child, the abandoned child, the child who never felt fully seen, the child who learned they had to cope alone. And this is even if you feel you may have had the happiest of childhoods. And when those parts become activated, we can find ourselves desperately trying to rescue our children from feelings we were never allowed to have ourselves. And this isn't something to feel ashamed of. It's just human. It's what happens when love meets fear. And it's why I want to begin our journey here, not with your child, not with a diagnosis or a treatment plan, not with a strategy, but with you. Because one of the greatest myths we carry as parents is this, that good parents prevent suffering. I'm going to say that again. One of the greatest myths we carry as parents is that good parents prevent suffering. That if we love our children enough, work hard enough, learn enough, sacrifice enough, then somehow we should be able to stop them hurting. But life doesn't work that way. Pain is part of being human, and struggle is part of being human, and our children's suffering is not evidence that we have failed. What I've come to understand is that good parenting is not about preventing every storm. It's just about staying connected during the storm. It's about remaining present when everything in us wants to panic or to run. It's about becoming a safe place for our child or young person to return to, even when we don't have the answers. The truth is that your child does not need a perfect parent. They need a present one. They need someone willing to stay, someone willing to listen, someone willing to keep showing up. And maybe before you can offer that to them, you need to offer a little of it to yourself. So before we finish today, I'd like to invite you into a small reflection. I'd like to invite you to just take a breath. And ask yourself gently, what am I carrying right now? Not my child, me. What am I carrying? What fears? What grief? What exhaustion? What hopes? What heartbreak? Just notice. No need to change anything, no need to fix anything. Just notice. And then ask yourself one more question. What if I am not failing? What if this situation is difficult because it is difficult? What if my love for my child is already evident in the fact that I am here? What if I don't need to have all the answers today? Just let those questions settle. And as we close this first lesson, I want to leave you with something I wish somebody had said to me years ago. You are not failing. You are walking through something incredibly hard. You are carrying more than most people can see, and the fact that you continue to show up, even imperfectly, even exhausted, even afraid, speaks to the depth of your love. You do not have to do this perfectly. You do not have to do this alone. And you do not have to have all the answers. For now, just simply take a breath with me. Place a hand on your heart if that feels comfortable. And remind yourself, I am here. I am doing my best. And that is enough for this moment. I'll see you in the next lesson.